Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Minecraft 1.13 on the Creedcraft server. So, yeah, in the last episode we built this thing. It's looking amazing. We've actually had another person on the server who admired it and is going to be building some other buildings in a similar looking style. So, yeah, we're trendsetters, I guess. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. We are going to be working on some different stuff today, namely these farms, because yeah, they kind of look shabby in comparison to this now. But before I do that, we are extremely low on resources. Now, I did a little bit of enchanting with some diamond stuff. I got efficiency 4 on a pickaxe. I am not happy at all about that, but we are still using hand-me-down armor. So I would like to be able to get to full diamond armor by the end of this episode. So for that, I am going to do a 1-hour mining session. So if you have any thoughts about how much stuff you think I'm going to get, be sure to leave that down in the comments. And yeah, I will be back in a little bit with the results. So I want to chat with you guys just a little bit about what has been going on the server. So we have a neighbor who is building a very large castle not very far away from us. So this player, Gutrug, he has laid out the outline of the walls for his castle, and they are literally right at my back door. And there's been a couple of thoughts of what we could do with this. So the first one is that we could just kind of be more of a passive person and just say, okay, he's already laid out this area, we're going to adjust our base and just kind of move a little bit off to the side and utilize some of the other space around the area. Or we could be aggressive and we could set up some siege engines and things like that and try to claim the lands that we want to use. And I really want to know what you guys think. You know, should we be a bit more passive, or should we try to just seize what we want? So leave your ideas down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of this. But yeah, let's go ahead and head back to the server and see the results of the mining. Well, I have to say, these mines are pathetic. So I just ran out of torches right at the 1-hour mark. So we're going to head back to where we were. And yeah, actually, let's see. I need to go back up this way because somewhere up here we have the chest that I was dropping off cobblestone and stuff in. And actually we have this minecart chest yet too. So yeah, there's a few goodies in there. And yeah, let's go ahead and grab these rails as well while we're at it. Because, yeah, why not? Because, I mean, rails? We might be needing a bunch of those later on. So let's see here. Which one? I left coal in the ceiling. So yeah, this is whatever coal I have in my inventory is not going to count. But yeah, I have to say this had to be one of the worst mining sessions I have ever seen. So yeah, I will meet you guys back over at the base of the mine shaft. We'll take a look at what I got. Well, we got an awful lot of cobblestone and other stone, diorite, granite, andesite, some dirt, some gravel, and a couple of magma blocks. Those will come in really handy for decorating the tavern because we need those for our fireplaces. But here is the valuable stuff. Now we did get 27 diamonds, got 2 of those out of a mine cart in the mine shaft, but yeah, diamonds seem to be really hard to come by. we almost got 3 stacks of iron, got half a stack of gold, a whole bunch of lapis, tons of redstone, and a decent amount of coal. Now I also found a golden apple in the mine shaft. So yeah, this stuff all came out of the mine shaft. So yeah, but I gotta move all this stuff back up to the top, and I'll get some items to start working on the farms, and then we'll take a look at what we're gonna do there. Well, I have a little bit of resources here. I don't know for sure what all I am going to need for this, but I am very happy to say we have those oak wood instead of the oak logs now, the 6-sided bark. So what we want to do is make this a tiered farm. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do is clear this entire farm out of here so that I can kind of get a lay of the land. Because I don't think that we want to go just one tier at a time. I think we actually want to go 2 tiers at a time. So yeah, that's going to be step 1. So I suppose I better do that first. And I'll probably clear a little of this out as well. And try to figure out exactly how far are we going to go with this. You know, do we go way out there? Or do we just kind of hold it here on the top of this little mound? I don't know. But also, looking at what has been going on here, I will say we need to figure out something for hydration of this farmland. So, yeah. I guess there's nothing for it other than just to get going. So, yeah. Inventory space is about to disappear. So before I really get going on the farms, I wanted to figure out an aesthetic way to do the irrigation of the farms. And so what I'm thinking is to have just a small stream flowing through the farms, and we'll kind of snake that around wherever, and we can use source blocks to make sure that we have enough water to go all the way from one place to the other. But the issue with that is, where do you get the water from? So I started making a little rock outcropping up here with some waterlogged stairs to indicate a spring up on top of this hill. And then I think we're going to have to drop in some leaves just to make it look like there's some stuff growing on here. And yeah, I think that's going to be a nice little idea, and it looks like it's getting to be nighttime, which is actually a good thing because, yeah, I need to light up a whole bunch more of this area. Let's get some more torches made up here, and yeah, I just goofed that up. Now I'm throwing stuff on the ground. Alright, well, let's get some more torching done around here. But yeah, I am going to continue to try to get this rocky outcropping looking good. And I'm sure that it won't take much, but it's just going to take a little time and placing and removing blocks until I finally get it looking the way that I want. But I do have to say I'm really happy with the way that you can do this. I thought I was hearing a mob. But, you know, it looks like there's actually something going in there. And I just realized an issue here. So we can see this dirt block through the inside. So we're going to change that to some andesite, and that should help. Yeah, now we can't see that dirt block in there. But, yeah, so the little tiny water channels, those are great. And even better than that is the fact that we can do that. That doesn't work. Okay. But we can use these blocks out here to make the stream much smaller as well. And then that's something that we can't walk into. So I might do that as well. And these still count to hydrate the farmland around them. So, yeah, I'll figure something out there. But I need to get this torching done. Mob spawns are always an issue, and they're becoming more of an issue since we figured out what was wrong with the server. So, yep, gonna work on this a little more, and then I will be back. Well, I'm rather much enjoying the way that this looks. So I did a little decorating along this little stream, put in a little bit of coarse dirt, some gravel, put some cobblestone half slabs underneath it. So this is only half a block deep, which is nice because then you don't have to jump to get out of it. And then further down I put in a little bit of sand, and yeah, we've got that all done. And then I started building the terracing walls that are going to keep everything back here. So I have some of the oak wood, I believe that's, yeah, oak wood, the six-sided bark, and then some oak planks in between those, and these are just kind of randomly spaced. So some places I've got 1, some places 2, some places 3. But on top of each one of the oak wood, I put a cobblestone fence, and on top of the oak planks, I have put spruce leaves. So it kind of breaks it up a little bit, makes it a little more interesting, and then I've put spruce slabs on top of this. Now, I had thought about actually putting spruce trap doors up here, and I think I went and put them back. I don't know. I may try that and just see. The trapdoors take so much more wood that it's not even funny. But yeah, I'll probably try a small section of that and see what it looks like. But so then I do have this set up with all of the crops here. I've planted carrots through this level, and I just noticed that these guys are not hydrated. So what are we going to do about that? How about this? We will go like that. There we go. So that should hydrate this one. Yeah, this guy's still not going to be hydrated. That's too bad. Oh well. As long as we've got most of them hydrated, I am perfectly happy. And actually, we can... Oh, since I tilled this, that all is showing up. I'll have to take a look at that later. But so we could put some water further underneath this stone. That might work. But that means that I would have to move around my light sources. So this is actually very well illuminated, even though there's no torches around it, because, well, we can kind of see the particles every once in a while coming through here. But there is a torch. We can just see it there. There's a torch buried underneath this block, and then I have some spruce leaves out in front of it, and so that makes it look like there's just a bush here, but it's got some light coming out of it. I put another one over here, and then I've got one here in this corner over there. And I think I'm going to be utilizing that quite a bit, trying to make it to where my light sources are actually hidden. I need to try to figure out something to do with that torch, and I just can't seem to figure it out. But I will be continuing with this, and I have a spot here. I kind of terraformed the terrain back a little, because I only had like 1 or 2 blocks of space here. I decided it was best to just go 2 blocks high on the terracing and then come further out on the over here for the next tier. So I'm going to build up this next tier. Think I will probably plant potatoes on this one, and yeah, I'll try a little bit of the spruce trapdoors as well. So lighting, water sources, and what was the other thing? Oh, the trapdoors. Alright, I'm gonna try to get some stuff figured out. I'll be back. Well, we have a completed farm now. So we have all of the carrots up here on top. I threw a few pumpkins into this just to make things a little more interesting. Also added some sugar cane and large flowers up here. Then I went down to the next level, put in potatoes, added some melons to that in a couple of spots, and then also once again put in a few tall flowers just to break things up, added a little sugar cane. And part of this, like these guys here, we can see there's string on top of those, there's string on top of these, just to keep them from growing too tall and just kind of ruining everything. There's a couple of them I want to be tall, but you know, most of them I want to be shorter. Then we finished out with the third level with wheat, and this one is quite large, extending way out over here and then going back that way and extending clear over to the lake over here. So I mean, we have quite a bit of wheat space. Also brought the little stream down here, made it a little bit rockier as it came up to the approach to the lake, and then put in some gravel down here. And we'll need to do a little bit of terraforming underwater here later on. But yeah, now that I've got that done, I want to go on to the thing that I really wanted to be the crown jewel of this farm, and that is a giant custom tree. So I was originally thinking to put it right here, but I think now I am going to put it back here instead, because this top area, it looks really nice the way that it is. We can remove this tree, and then you know, this will look really good by itself with the big giant tree behind it here. But so I have a whole bunch of oak and oak leaves in my inventory, and I have to say, I haven't built a true custom tree in a very long time. So this is kind of going to be bad for me, I'm sure. But so I know the first thing that we want to do, we want to kind of select a direction the tree is going to be leaning. Now we've already determined the wind comes out of the east, and it seems like a lot of times trees actually lean into the wind, but I don't know that I want that tree going over the top of the farm. So I don't know. I think maybe we will kind of have it lean in that direction. That sounds good to me. So we're going to start out by just going up a few blocks, and we're just going to get a general shape for the tree. And we'll go up a fair amount, because we want this to be a rather impressive tree. So if we go up this high just for the trunk, our branches are going to be coming off of that. So let's go ahead and get back down and just see what does that could possibly be leaning over a little bit more. And I think that's what we will want to do. So now what we'll do is we'll just kind of thicken this up. So I am going to remove all of these blocks that are turned the wrong direction, because yeah, it bothers me. So we're just going to thicken this up a little. And one thing about thickening up a tree, we don't want to have all of the blocks at the same height. So we're going to get a few of these up here. And since we're kind of leaning that way, we'll want this one to come up a little higher. That's going to make this one a little too short. Yeah, so this is going to take me a little bit, but I'm going to try to get a decent tree here. It's going to be a lot thicker than I originally anticipated, which is fine. I want this tree to just be very impressive. So, yeah, I might just work on this trunk for a little bit, because it is going to be a lot of placing blocks, climbing around, you know, placing more blocks, climbing around some more, things like that, and just trying to make the general shape work. So, yeah, I'm going to just work on this for a little bit. I'll get the trunk finished, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at the leaves. Well, it's kind of starting to take on a tree shape. I don't know, there's still a bit that's not quite right here. Most notably these outside edges. So let's go ahead and scaffold up here and see if we can fix this. I think this is just too high still. So one thing that I've found is these bark blocks actually have a direction. So we have to make sure that we place them in the right direction. So if we go like that, we should be good. I think there's a log laying up here on top of this. Yep. So let's see if that helps any. So I've been going up and down a lot to look at this thing and then make little tweaks here and there. And yeah. So this is one thing that I like. We can get up on top of the wall from quite a ways down. So yeah, that does look like it helps quite a bit. Let's go ahead and head back over to the path. Now, of course, that will be covered with leaves, but yeah, that does help a lot. Just needs to get a little bit more downward bend at the end. So I think we're going to do that with this other branch as well. So let's just scaffold up here real quick. And we'll do the same thing. And I'm going to make a couple more branches yet. I'm not sure how many there's going to be here. Actually, we'll just face that direction. That'll work. So we'll eliminate that one, remove that guy, and that should be it. Grab that one off the top. Back down here and grab our ones that fell. Now, I did add some roots down below, put the bark blocks on those, and basically any log that had the open texture on top, I just broke those out and replaced them with the wood block. So, yeah, I think this is the wood block, right? Yeah. So we want to replace the logs with the wood whenever it's exposed, but so that makes it look better. So that looks, yeah, there's something wrong up here, but that'll all be covered with leaves. The bark is kind of going in the wrong directions. Should be going sideways like that one, but there's a cow up there. But so yeah, I'm gonna put a couple more branches on here, and I think actually I am going to pull one off lower down here because I think that will help it a lot. And I might actually make that one a sizable branch, a little bit smaller than the main trunk, but still sizable, and then have it split higher up. I think that'll be good. It might actually be most of what goes on this side. So yep, I am going to get going on that. See what I can make it look like. Well, it definitely has a tree-like shape. The branches are a little bit droopy, but I think that putting the leaves on it is going to help that a lot. So that is going to be our next step. Now, I did split the trunk in half, about halfway up, like I was saying, and I think that helps a lot. But so we have a whole bunch of oak leaves in our inventory. I'm going to get up here and start placing some of these on. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people do that I find incorrect when doing custom trees is they will completely plaster the center of the tree with leaves. But there should be open areas in the center of the tree because leaves don't grow off of the trunk or the centers of branches. They grow off of the tips of branches. So we're going to put the bulk of our leaves out on the tips, make a connected canopy. We also don't want to make the leaves too thick. So yeah, this once again is going to be one of those things where it's going to be a lot of block placing. Going off in the distance, taking a look at it, coming back, placing more, trimming some up, and just doing that repeatedly until we get something that looks about right. But I think we're on the right track, and this should be done here shortly. And there we go, the completed tree. So I did have a couple of things here. When I started putting the leaves on, I realized I needed to leave a lot of these branches exposed on the underside. And so I had to remove a lot of the leaves. It still looks a little thin on this one. I'd have to change that just a little. But yeah, it's looking amazing. It definitely adds a lot to this. Whoops. I've got a couple of those I've got to fix. So yeah, we have the tree over there in the distance. And yeah, it's amazing. So we definitely got done what we wanted to today. We got the farms updated. We got the tree built. And so I am very happy But that's going to be it for today, so I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have anything that you would like to see, or have any thoughts on what I've been doing, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!